That next one up is, first of all, I think what they're charging for this 10 is kind of a little, outrageous for what it is.
I think it should only be like 10 or 15.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like it's not like it adds a crap ton of function or anything, like. And I mean, and YouTube is already starting to do this because they don't like when anybody, one-ups them on their own platform, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to add this feature and this function, and it's not going to cost anything. And StreamYard's going to be another bankrupt Delaware holding company.
Randy,
don't you?
What's that?
You like StreamYard, don't you?
I do. Randy, I put the link in Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Hit that link, it should bring you in. And then do the little box with your name and whatever you need to do, and hit enter studio, and that's it.
Well, if you didn't know this, Sean, in the United States, there's 3 states that are kind of like corporate tax havens.
Yes.
And the one that's the biggest and has the most benefit is Delaware. So that's why all the banks are there. That's why all the corporations are there. Everybody is there. StreamYard is there. So
a very small state too.
Yeah.
Skinny also.
And they don't even have any sales tax either.
Yeah, they don't have any sales tax. No. So my wife lived there for about 5 years, a long time ago or whatever. So yeah, but anyway.
Have you been there lately?
So, what's that?
Have you been there lately?
Yeah. So, and my daughter, who works for the MS Society, she does an event on Thanksgiving Day every year in Wilmington, Delaware. Like actually downtown Wilmington, they nothing's really happening on Thanksgiving Day, but they shut the streets down and stuff like that downtown, and they do a 5K run in Wilmington, and that's one of her events, and she heads that up. So she is just now starting to prepare for that because it's on Thanksgiving Day. So she'll be going to Wilmington every week to meet with local people, and there's always a state senator that comes and stuff like that too. So she'll be going and meeting with the police and all these other sponsors. PNC Bank and Experian are their 2 biggest, like they're kind of like platinum sponsors for the event. So she goes down there and meets with them and stuff like that. So
I was asking because Delaware's blown up like crazy because people going there to retire nowadays.
Right.
Because of the tax credits and crap.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, my wife lived there, and there's this restaurant that she really loves. It's half Mexican, half Cajun, and it's called Borders Cafe, and it's right on Route 1, near the Christiana Mall, like where 95 and Route 1 intersect. So we go there. It takes about an hour for us to get there from here. So we go there. We haven't been there in a while, but we do go there frequently for dinner because she likes that restaurant so much. So, or if we're in White Marsh, like if we go to IKEA in White Marsh, we'll hop on because it's right there next to 95. We'll hop on 95 and go up to Wilmington and have dinner.
Scotty,
from there.
Do you guys have IKEA as well?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See.
Really?
Yeah, there's one up in Houston.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I thought only Fort Myers had a Kia.
There's one in New Jersey that's so big from I-95 you see it.
Yeah,
we got one in Springvale as well.
God bless you.
Yeah, the closest one to me is in Baltimore. So.
And does the furniture speak Swedish as well?
Ah, yes. See.
All the instruction manuals.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you got instruction manuals. You're lucky.
Yes.
We just got numbers.
The desk that I'm sitting at right now is from IKEA.
Mm.
I went to the one in Brooklyn and never again.
And that
Done.
and oh look, my brain actually got it kind of right this time. That piece of furniture right there is from IKEA.
I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff out of IKEA is not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just gotta be picky and choosy on what you're
Yep.
buying.
Oh, and that shelf on the wall back there, that's from IKEA.
Yeah, Emily, me and us been to that one in the one in Brooklyn. Hey V, how you doing?
Hey, how
Hey,
bad
Vin.
is that? How bad is the rain sounds? Is it real?
I can't hear
we,
it. Clark.
we can't hear. We can't hear it.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I don't hear
g'day,
it.
Crystal. How you going? Nice to see you there. Hey, Lily.
What's going on,
Welcome
Destination
aboard.
Delight?
Nice.
What's going on, V?
How you doing? Good
Wanda
evening.
Budgets and Beyond came in. Hello.
How you doing?
I think we're being rated.
Why, Eddie? What happened on IKEA? I don't know. These guys are just blabbering about IKEA. I don't think it's a maze. When I went to the one in Brooklyn and went there once, and that was it.
You can't hit amazes.
I didn't want to ever go back again.
Eddie, do you have?
It's
do you
hard
have-
when you can't see over the
Can you
shelves.
read a map? Can you
Sorry,
read a
Sean,
map?
what was that? Because clock here is interrupting. What was that?
I was saying, can you read a map?
Yes,
So all you got to do is follow the lines on the floor. They'll tell
I
you where to
know
go.
that, but still, there was a mess in there.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I sat in the IKEA parking lot a week or so ago and watched JNS Adventures 1K celebration live stream from the parking lot, parked
Look at that.
under the solar panels.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was JNS inside IKEA for a whole hour and a bit?
No,
No.
So
the
you
mustard,
couldn't have
the
watched
mustard
the whole
drill
show.
was at IKEA.
You
No,
couldn't have
I
watched
was
the whole show.
I was sitting in this chair right here in Galveston.
Man,
Okay, Mike Arena says they love IKEA.
Yep.
we missed Galveston just by we went to the we didn't go to the port, but we went to that entertainment center, that park that's near there. What do they call that place? You've got all the you got a whole bunch of restaurants in there, and it's like a kind of like an amusement park area.
Pleasure Pier.
Oh yeah, that's Pleasure Pier on the seawall.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So we were there for about 5 minutes, a day, and
Yeah,
then the next day we were on a flight down to Tampa.
I keep
Pleasure
trying to
Pier
get
sounds
Jeremy
like an
to
interesting
show
place.
us video of the Pleasure Pier on the morning show, but he won't do it.
We can get it from Murdoch's. Hold on. You might be able to catch it right now because those cameras don't stop. They're 24/7.
Should have it lit up this time of night.
I don't know. At 10:47, they might have it shut down, but then again, it's Friday night.
Pleasure Pier sounds like some place you go on a bachelor party.
So for those that are
Located right across the street from the Carnival Cruise Line restaurant.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Fish tails. They have a red whale tail.
I swear, he threw that up there this morning, and I looked, and the first thing my brain said was, that looks like a Carnival funnel.
Mhm.
Is that a ship back there?
That's where you get on the Jubilee.
Okay, the camera's not pointed at the Pleasure Pier right now. Instead, it's pointing at Galvez.
What's that? Oh, I've seen this.
The hotel, right?
Yeah, that's the Grand Galvez Hotel, and this is Seawall Boulevard.
That's where Mr. Mike B goes to when he likes to get away from Houston area. That's where he goes to hide.
Uh-huh.
At least that's what I heard. So
Yes, stayed there last year.
The nice
You don't stay by
hotel.
the hour there, do
Pretty
you?
expensive though. I got it for free, but it's usually like I don't know, $300 or $400 a night or something.
Nice.
For those that are on Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel, we are currently in a mixed broadcast with 6 other channels. JNS Adventures, Eddie Lugo Studios, Clocky's Family Adventures, The Master Drill, and Cruise Vet Adventure. So if you see chat going on, it's because there are 6 channels in the chat and we're all broadcasting simultaneously.
That's right.
I tried to turn the camera, but I guess there's people in line ahead of me.
I think it's cool that they let you control it, though.
Oh yeah,
Tell
it's
them to hurry up.
amazing.
It looks pretty dark there.
It is. It's
The absence of
10:49.
light.
It's 10:49 at night here.
The storm coming in.
So not only are you guys on the wrong side of the road, but you're on the wrong side of the clock as well.
We are behind you. That's why.
Always the
Well,
right
that's-
side of the clock right here.
That's right. You are behind the times, Eddie.
Hey, Sean, the Mega Millions jackpot is worth $940 million. We would really like the numbers, please.
That's right.
Yes.
36, 25, 3, 2.2, and 9, and one more. I forget. It's 5. G'day,
So,
Randy.
Eddie,
Hey, how you
Haven't they
doing?
pulled that yet?
What's that?
Haven't they pulled the Mega Millions?
I'm sure they
Powerball,
did.
whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, Mega Millions. Yeah, somebody won that. I can't believe somebody won. One person won $1,050,000,000 or something like that. Like,
you're in California, like
yeah, I
always.
just believe it.
Always
One
somebody in
person.
California.
Well, did you see where,
Yeah, but
where
I'm
the
saying
store
tonight's the other one.
Yeah.
store got rewarded $1 million for selling that ticket?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that
it
covers
looks
rent for a
looks
few
like
months.
tonight's numbers were 5, 10, 28, 52, 63, and 18.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
And
Does
it
it show
just
whether
says,
there's any winner?
it just says that the next estimated jackpot is pending. So no
So-
idea if somebody won or not.
So on Thursday, we've got 100 mil.
Probably.
And here's the thing. If any of you guys are interested, win a lottery in Australia, it's tax-free.
What we got coming now, Jeremy?
Does it ever get to the 900 million or anything like that?
In Australia?
Yeah.
You kidding?
Ooh.
Can a foreigner win it?
You never
Sean,
know.
I'm gonna venue some money so you can buy me some tickets.
Right.
Okay.
Same standard as you. Nope, didn't win on those money. Sorry, send
No.
more.
Yep.
Oh,
No, I'm not going to go down that path. I might go to my namesake, Onassis, and ask him for it. I know he's dead.
Well, do you spell your name the same way?
No,
No. Okay.
he's ONY,
Uh,
and I've got an R before the N, so no, not close.
well, I have a question for a travel agent. Either one of you guys. Okay. If you book a cruise like through Carnival. Well, let me take that back. If you book a cruise through a travel agent, and then Carnival starts calling people to give them room upgrades, will they call only the people that book through Carnival, or will they also call people that book through travel agents?
I had a Be the Hero offer come through on my travel agent side, but also I'm a client, so Carnival sent me one as well on the same sailing because I booked my own sailing. But as far as any Be the Hero offers for any other clients, I have not experienced that yet coming through on the travel agent side.
Right.
Royal will do it too if you're on the Royal Ups. You'll still get those upgrade deals.
Yeah,
to
but
bid on a
Royal
room.
Up is different than what Randy's talking about, though.
Okay.
So what Carnival does is Carnival will actually call you. In fact, I was in a Hallmark store picking out a card, and I got this call from this Florida number, and I almost did not answer it, but I did. And the guy was like, "Hey, would you like a suite for $600?" And I said, "Listen, I would not take a Carnival suite if it was you give me $600
Oh my God.
because you don't get anything for a suite on Carnival."
Well,
Right.
You don't get double points like you do on Royal. You don't get
Right.
any kind of perk. You don't get special access. You don't get anything for a suite on Carnival. So for me, it's never worth it on Carnival. But Royal Up, on the other hand, I just did a Royal Up on my upcoming Oasis cruise. I was booked into a standard interior cabin that was literally on deck 11 forward up against the front bulkhead. And I did a Royal Up for a neighborhood view interior. The minimum bid for it was $25. And of course, that's for two people. So it would be $50. I put the minimum bid in on it, and I was like a week later, I got the email saying, "Congratulations, your Royal Up has been offered or accepted." And I was moved from that interior on deck 11 to deck 9 into a Central Park view interior for $50.
I like that.
Yeah, for $50.
I did the same thing.
But the fare difference in those two rooms would have been more. I went in and searched it out. Would have been $700.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question.
No.
If you go into, say, a Central Park cabin, is it noisy?
No.
Mine wasn't. Mine
No.
wasn't a balcony though.
Probably the boardwalk would be more noisy.
Okay.
Just because of the nature of it.
Sure.
There is a band that plays out in Central Park, but it ends pretty early.
You hungry?
And then Central Park is, people like to just go out there and kind of be chill, like to go out there and it's quiet and it's chill and everything else. So no, not typically, certainly not like boardwalk. So
I like going out there in the morning and eating my breakfast.
yeah.
It's a nice place to eat.
I mean, I really like Central Park at night just because of the way it looks at night with
It's
it.
a
With like
total
all the
different
accent lightings
Yep.
and stuff.
It's
yeah.
a total different thing night to day.
Yeah,
It's like
but I
two
really
different
like it
areas.
at night. So, but yeah, so like I said, so the fare difference in that, Randy, would have been like $700 and some dollars. If I would have just went in and just changed it to that, it would have been like $700 and some dollars. But I was able to Royal Up to it for only $50.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been pretty successful with those Royal Up options as well. So yeah, but that, like I said, Royal Up is different than that. My guess is Carnival would not call people for upgrades if they had booked through a travel agent, because when you book through a travel agent, the cruise lines kind of leave you alone and you need to go through your travel agent. But what Jeremy was telling you is what happens is we get a notification that there is Jeremy called it, it's called a Be a Hero, right? I think it's a stupid thing, right? But they call it Be a Hero. So we'll get notification that one or more of our bookings have a Be a Hero offer. And then we can log into the travel agent portal and see what that is. And that's basically an upgrade. It's always an upgrade. So we can see what it is. It may not be a huge upgrade, but what it might be is, like I did a Be a Hero offer one time for a client where I was able to actually move them into a balcony from an interior, and get them the Cheers package and there was 2 people in the cabin for $50 a person. So for $100, they got a room upgrade and unlimited drinks. So it's up to the travel agent to see that and then offer it to the client. So that's really where it comes down to. So the travel agent's supposed to see it, offer it to the client, and then, then they're the hero, and the client is getting the upgrade they might be possibly looking for. So.
What?
But the Royal Up is something that you do that the client can do on their own.
Right.
The travel agent doesn't do that.
You as a travel agent, like somebody calls you up and they say, "Hey, I want to go on a cruise and I want to fly into Miami." Do you also find them a rental car? Do you find them a hotel?
It depends.
You just okay. Depends. So you do like different levels, kind of.
Yeah. So here's the thing: I can't get commission on flights.
Right.
So I tend to not handle flights for clients for 2 reasons. And you might think the first reason is because I don't get paid for it. That's actually the second reason. For me, it's the second reason. The first reason why I don't tend to do flights is because my client knows what and how and when they can or don't and do want to be at the airport.
Right.
Or want to be flying and things like that more than I do. So it's a lot of a half duplex conversation with them. So it's kind of like, if I've got to go back and forth and stuff like that in that time frame, it's easier for the client to probably book that on their own. But if my client says to me, "Listen, I really would like your help with these flights," I will, even though I'm not getting paid with it. Even though I'm not getting paid for it, I will totally do it.
So here's the question.
The way I am, I prefer to book my own flight because like you're saying, I know when I want to go to the airport. Yeah. I know when I want to arrive, and all that stuff. Yep. How much time I want to lay over.
Yep.
If it's not a nonstop and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's really kind of like why. And then, like I said, the second reason would be because I'm not getting paid for it. But like I said, if my client says to me, "I really want your help with these flights," paid for it or not, I'm going to help them with it. Hotels and rental cars also, because I am going to get a really small, teeny tiny little commission off a hotel room.
Right.
And again, another really small one off of a rental car.
So if somebody was going to come on a cruise out of Sydney, you would not organize their flights?
Again, it depends. If they ask me to, I will, but I wouldn't do it as a part of the normal process, just because I wouldn't be getting commission. So now here's one interesting thing that you may not know. And this is travel agent secret that I'm giving away. Travel agents hate me, so because I give away a lot of secrets for free. So
is this like a secret code we're supposed to use when we talk?
So here's the thing. So if you book with Royal Caribbean, you book a cruise on Royal Caribbean, and you use Air to Sea, which is Royal Caribbean's air option add-on.
Right.
If you book a flight, no matter how you're booking a flight, you have to book that flight and pay for it. But if you book through Air to Sea, you can book your flight and get your seat on that flight, and you don't have to pay for it until final payment.
Oh.
It's a perk kind of. But that you'll get that flight, it'll be reserved and it'll be locked in at that price and everything else, but you won't have to pay a nickel for it until final payment.
Now, does Princess work that way too? Because I know they do that flight.
I don't think so.
So it's only like Royal Caribbean that does.
Royal Caribbean's the only one that really does that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just pop in for a second there?
Of course.
Couple of things. Jeremy put in a thing there. He bought a Club Orange on his Holland America cruise. It cost him $450. It came with a cabin upgrade.
Turn on the bridge.
Okay. Also, we've got a little bit Elias. Welcome aboard to Helping Hands for Cruising. Thank you for popping on. He asked a question. The question he asked was, how can someone help him get a trip on a cruise? So, Elias, what you've got to do, mate, is you've got to have somebody out there who's not a family member put together a video, a 2-minute to 5-minute video that nominates the person, whether that be you or whomever else, nominates them to be a recipient of the Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise. And then what needs to happen is that video needs to be put up to the Helping Hands for Cruising board for a decision to be made as to whether or not you will be a recipient.
Sean has the AT&T logo on his face.
Yeah.
It's
I
called
see that.
sunshine. It's that yellow thing in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's
these
Little
like-
diamond.
So, but yeah, so that's a nice trick with Royal Caribbean for sure.
Yeah.
But even with that trick being in existence, I don't use it much.
Right.
And, just because again, like I'm not, like I'm going to be on the phone. I would have to get on the phone with the client. Like I have clients that are going on American Cruise Lines, which is a Mississippi cruise from Memphis to New Orleans. Or wait, they're going from New Orleans to Memphis, I think. So, and part of that is flights are included in the price.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a special department that you cannot reach directly at American Cruise Lines that handles the flights. And because my client has gone through me, they will not call my client to say, well, how about this flight or how about that flight or whatever, right? So I told my client, I'll just do a 3-way call with you. They're not going to like it. They're going to be mad at me for having the client on the phone directly with them. But I'm going to do it because I don't want them to give me a list of flights and then I have to call my client and say, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? And then if they don't like it, I have to call them back. Or if they do like one, then I say, okay. And then I give it to them, and they're going to say, well, we want to be on this seat or that seat or whatever. And they're going to be like, okay, well, this is the seats that are available. It's kind of a pain in the butt in that respect. That kind of aspect of the travel is just easier for the client. Now, if I'm booking an all-inclusive resort, like an all-inclusive package that does include the flights, then I am picking the flight for my client. So I tell my clients, I'll try to pick, I tell them up front, this is when I usually like to fly. I don't usually like to be at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning. But I'm coming back. I don't usually like to be at, I don't like to get home. I don't like to get into my final destination airport at 2 minutes to midnight, especially, whether I live an hour from there or 5 minutes from there, I don't like to get in that late. And 9 times out of 10, they will say to me, we're the same way. So then when I'm looking at flight options for that all-inclusive option, I will pick flights that look good to me, and I have yet to have a client complain to me that they did not like the flights I picked for them.
Well, if you book the flight through the cruise, like going back to Royal Caribbean, you get to the airport, flight's canceled or delayed or something like that. Who gets you onto a different flight? Who
The
do you call
airline.
for that?
The airline does.
So at that point, you're strictly working with the airline. So.
And that would be the case no matter how you booked it.
Right.
No matter how you booked it, if that is the scenario where the flight was canceled or delayed, the airline is always the one that you would work with directly to get on another flight, whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Emily, I've done this before. I've used the NCL buy one, get one free. I did that for the Vloggers cruise, and I'm doing it for my Alaska cruise. It worked great for the Vloggers cruise because I was by myself, and they still gave me half off my ticket. So I paid $149 for my round trip ticket from Baltimore to New Orleans. So I couldn't beat that.
Nice.
Like you said, now when I cruise, I tend to fly Southwest because for some strange reason, I cannot convince myself to not take a month's worth of clothes for a 7-day cruise. So
Yep.
it's nice to be able to fly the only remaining airline that does not charge you for bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pay for bag because NCL. I think there may be a exclusive partnership with American or something. You will have to pay for bags.
Right. So with Royal Caribbean, it's going to be the standard airlines: American, Delta, United.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, one nice thing, I got the American Airlines credit card, so I get one free bag, and my wife gets a bag.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. So I have a bunch of airline cards too. So
Is that-
but
Is that automatic on the or is that a do you have to pay a fee every year?
For American Airlines,
Yeah.
yeah, you pay a fee, but they also give you back a voucher for like so much off a flight, like maybe $25 or $50. So you do get a break that way, and
Okay.
I
I'm just trying to see whether or not it's worth it because I normally get the credit cards if it's going to benefit me. So I may look into that.
yeah.
'Cause
So
got a
I
lot
have
of flights over the next couple
so
years.
my airline cards all have annual fees, right? But like for instance, my United card gets me a decent amount of money off of a Clear membership.
right,
Because I have Clear and TSA pre-check together, so like I'm through security fast, right? So, but my United card gets me money off of Clear every year, like the Clear membership, and then I look at hotel cards too. So then I have a Marriott card, Marriott Amex. That gets me a free night at the Marriott every year. Same thing with I have an IHG card. That gets me a free night every year and gets me $50 worth of United bank money or whatever, like United, I forget what United Wallet or something. Anyway, so I get $50 on United Airlines every year through that card plus a free night. So I always look at cards like that. So that Marriott card and the IHG card I love just because I get a free night every year.
right. Yeah, I've got the Marriott card too, and I like that. As a matter of fact, when we go down to Miami here next week, one of the nights is free, and I'm using the Marriott card for that.
Right.
And another thing I do, or we do, is like with American Airlines, we pay all our bills that way, and then we build up all the mileage. And for example, again, this weekend we're flying first class because we bought tickets but upgraded with miles in order to move to first class, which also means you get to carry 2 suitcases now for free, and they can be over 50 pounds too. They can be up to 70 pounds. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and I have a Southwest credit card as well, and it has an annual fee, but I don't really get any perks from it other than Southwest miles for the things that I spend on that card.
Apparently on the Southwest one, if you spend a certain amount or you hit it at the right time and you get that card, you can get a free companion pass if you spend so much or something like that.
Yeah, if you build up so many miles and stuff.
Yes. But that companion pass has too many caveats, like too much stuff. Yes, it has. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So,
well, I mean, my companion would be my wife. So if she didn't get to go on all the trips, I mean, it's not that big a deal.
I tell her you didn't have enough points to take her. But another perk I have, which I'd be more than willing to give away, is because I have a mobility scooter, I get to board early. No matter
okay.
Especially even Southwest. I mean, I don't have to worry about, getting in the A group or paying extra for all that. Because wheelchairs and myself, we go first. So.
Right.
But like I said, I'd be willing to give that perk up and walk again.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing I like. I mean I guess the one thing I don't like about Southwest is you have to buy that A list.
Yeah.
Like you have to buy what they call it, early bird, right? You have to buy the
Right.
early bird all the time, in order to get it. And I don't know if you know this or not, but when you buy early bird, your early bird position is based on when you bought your early bird in relation to all the other people who bought their early bird on
Right.
that same flight, right? So if you don't buy it or you book that flight at the last minute and then you buy early bird, you could still be like, number A60 or something like
Right.
that. Which then if the way I feel about it, early bird's not worth it if you're that far down the list, right? But they'll still sell it to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I heard you earlier talking about, faster to the fun on Carnival. And I agree with you. I think you should earn it. I don't think you should buy it.
This purchasing of perks just drives.
And I've never seen, even when it used to be something like $50 or something, I never saw the benefit,
Right.
But,
right.
Anyway.
I'm like, I mean, it completely cheapens and completely just kind of this is what I think it says. I think it's a cruise line saying, we don't care that you have been loyal to us.
Mm-hmm.
All we care about is money. And if somebody is willing to pay us for it, then we could care less about you. And that really irks the crap out of me.
Yep.
So, especially for, as loyal as I've been to Royal, right? And now, I can say that I do enjoy my Diamond perks. I'm just about Diamond Plus on it, so I'll get a little bit more. But I do enjoy those 4 free drinks every day. I wish Carnival would do it for Platinum people, and Diamond people on Carnival. I wish they would give us free drinks every day, like Royal gives Diamond and Diamond Plus and Pinnacle. But, and I do enjoy some of that stuff that I get from Royal Caribbean as, through the loyalty. But, people are still buying priority on Royal Caribbean,
Yeah, but it's not the same. The key
No,
is
it's not the same. You're right. It's not.
Because if I buy the key, I don't get to. If you're Diamond Plus, I don't get to board the same time as you.
Right.
I don't get the free drinks.
Right.
I don't get the Diamond Lounge.
Right.
I only get expedited boarding for
Right.
So if boarding time is at noon, then I get to go on ahead, first at noon.
Right.
But I don't get to roll up and.
No, I agree. I agree. The
Diamond
key. No, I mean, I agree. The key is not the same as Faster to the Fun, but it is still something that Royal Caribbean is selling people for priority.
It's mostly the internet package, because really they're usually bundling it with the internet.
They're bundling it with the internet, and then you get that. You get that embarkation day lunch.
That's the only way. That's the only reason I really bought the key, mainly because when I priced just the internet package versus the key, it was only like $4 or $5 a day extra. So it's like, all right, well, just get the key.
Right. Yeah. So before the shutdown, I used to sail with my in-laws a lot, and my mother-in-law would always buy she would say, "I'm going to buy your internet."
Yeah.
For you or something, and she would buy the key because it was usually like a better value if you bought the key and got the internet that way, because then you got like the lunch and stuff like that, right? But we kept telling her we don't need the key because we're Diamond, but she would buy it anyway. So one time I showed up at the port, and the guy, we were showing up to the guy where you got to show your boarding pass, right? And he looks at my boarding pass, and he was like, "Oh, you're Diamond and the key." He was like, "You're triple special," or something like that, or whatever he said to me, or whatever, right? Because I had both of them at the same time. But I would always tell her, "We stop buying us the key. We don't need it."
Right.
So.
Can I just jump in there for a second?
Of course.
There's a person in the chat there that's asking questions about Helping Hands for Cruising. So let me just give an update so that people get an understanding of what happens. So when a person becomes a recipient of Helping Hands for Cruising, what happens is we will actually pay for the fare. Now, the fare includes buffet, food from the buffet, food from the MDR, and any food that is included as part of the fare. There are some specialty restaurants, things like Cucina del Capitano and um, the um, the steakhouse, the Fahrenheit Steakhouse, and Pig and Anchor, and some of the others there that
Mhm.
are upcharge restaurants. However, all food that is provided as part of your fare is included. So that's what the Helping Hands for Cruising fare includes. So you won't go hungry. You don't need to spend a cent. Go on board the ship, feed your face, walk off as cargo. You'll be fine. Everything will be okay. In terms of alcoholic drinks, so you will be able to have any of the drinks that are supplied with their fountain. So, for example, you want orange juice in the morning, they'll give you orange juice. You want say a Coke. There is um, a bubbles
Bubbles.
package. Um, we will provide you with an amount of onboard credit and the bubbles package, so you can get any soft drink, and you can use the onboard credit to go and purchase whatever it is, whether you want to do an excursion or you want to do or you want to pay for an alcoholic drink or whatever. That's all included in your onboard credit. Other than that, for us to fund the drinks package, that's not the bubbles package. That would be like us spending money on another cruise, and we figure that most people walk away with saving money because they can then use that money for other things like excursions, or if you wanted to do a night out at a paid restaurant or something like that. So that's basically what you're going to be getting for the cruise, and I think that's actually quite substantial. Quite most people will enjoy that and have fun and walk away and enjoy themselves with it.
Yeah, because you really don't even need the bubbles package. There's enough drinks there that you get coffee, water, tea,
Yep.
all different types of teas.
Yeah.
So there's plenty still there to drink without even having to worry about any kind of drink package.
The only cruise line I buy the soda package is on Royal Caribbean, and the only reason why I do that is because I don't really drink carbonated sodas. Like, I don't drink carbonated drinks. But on Royal Caribbean, they have the freestyle machines on most ships. There's a few ships that don't have it, but they're on most ships. They have the freestyle machines, which have over 100 different combinations. They have a lot of like flavored lemonades and limeades and other types of things. So I buy it for that. But that's the only time I do it.
Liberty still doesn't have it. Now I've been getting the refreshment package only because I do the coffees and all too. But it's nothing that I really need. I'll do coffees and I'll do the virgin mudslides and virgin strawberry daiquiris just because sitting up at the pool sometimes it's nice to have a nice frozen beverage.
We've actually found that when we were on board the Carnival Horizon, and also when we were on board the Grand Princess, that we decided, you know what, let's just take the money that we would have spent on a drinks package and just put that as onboard credit. And we walked away with money.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's us.
Yeah.
When I buy the refreshment package, it's only because I'm hitting it on Black Friday or whatever. Like the fresh refreshments package is normally $34 a day per person, and I can hit it on the Black Friday sale for like $19.99.
Right. Yeah, my wife does a lot of Black Friday purchases for that kind of stuff. So, like, even if she bought it before that, she'll cancel it and buy it again on Black Friday. So,
and if you're going on Royal and you want to get the internet package, always do one person and have multiple devices. Don't do each individual person because you're going to save a lot of money if you just do one person, multiple devices.
Right.
Because it's the same internet. It doesn't make you get off the devices or anything like that. It's just you're allowed to have, if you do 4 devices, you're allowed to have it signed in on 4 devices at the same time.
Yep.
So if you're going with a group of people, just get together and say, okay, let's just split this based off of this. And like this last, my son, his friend, me, and my wife. So we got a package of 4, and we hit it on Black Friday sale. So we end up saving like $300 as opposed to buying separate packages each.
That's a good tip because like with Carnival, it's only one thing at a time that can be unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm gonna have to buy that for this damn Glory Cruise. So
yeah, but see what Clock was saying, it is cheaper if you're buying like multiple devices that way because they just kind of discount a little bit. But the way it works on Royal is you have to create a username. And so if you do that under that package, everybody has to use the same username to log in. I mean, it's fine. I mean,
that's not bad.
No, it's not a problem. But I'm just saying, like, you have to create a username, and then that with that account, then they'll know, okay, that username has 4 devices or 3 devices or whatever. So.
Oh, so here's something I learned this week is I own stock in Carnival, the 100 share thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent in to get my credit.
Right.
And we're doing a back-to-back, so I sent it in twice, separate cruises. They wrote back and said, because you're doing a back-to-back, instead of $100 each, you get a total of $250. Yeah, exactly. And I thought, well, that's sweet. So the question is, though, which I know we'll spend it on the first one, but if we don't, will that also carry over to the second one? Any balance that's left over? I mean, I would assume at least $100.
because it's non-refundable. So that at the end of that sailing, it goes.
No, I mean the end of the first sailing when you're getting ready for the second.
Yeah, but they still consider, even though it's a back-to-back, they still consider it 2 separate bookings.
It is. It's two different bookings.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm sure we'll spend it all on the first one, but
right. Yep. Yeah, and you can't be combined with any other kinds of offers either. So,
have you already done your gratuities and all?
Have I? No.
See, I don't pay mine ahead of time either. So anytime I have the onboard credit, just if I don't use it, it just goes towards my.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because that's what I was thinking when I said, "Well, I'm sure we'll spend it all." And I thought, tips, so that'll take it.
Yeah.
Hey, what happens when you book a cruise, and then 10 days later book the back-to-back bit? So you're not actually doing a back-to-back in one run, and then you come up with your Carnival, what's his name, the shareholders card. So you've booked the one cruise, and then 10 days later you book the second.
Oh, you theoretically you get credit for both cruises. They'll give you, if it's a 7-day cruise, you get $100, and I think if it's a 15 or more, you get like $250 or something.
So there should be your way out of the only splitting the shareholders' points. Book the cruise today for the first 7 days, and then in a week or a month, book the back-to-back bit. Then
I think they would still catch it.
Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah. Normally you have to submit it up to like 3 weeks ahead of time.
Right.
3 or 4 weeks before you get on to the cruise.
But actually, they were very fast in accepting that too. It was like a matter of days.
Royal's pretty easy too. Like, I can go in there now and say, okay, I got 5 Royal cruises coming in the next year and a half, and I just put all my numbers on there, and they'll go ahead and put the $100 on every one of them, all 5 of them. So, I got to do my Carnival one.
Yeah.
Jeremy's got a question.
When the stock was in the toilet, we bought it all too.
So just so you all know, I bought Royal at $40 a share, and it's it's 110 right now.
It's come back really well, Royal.
Yeah, we bought Carnival stock when it was like $6 a share. So.
Yeah, I didn't get lucky on that.
Jeremy Firmino has a question in the chat: 250 total or 250 times 2?
No, just 250 total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because originally it would have been 100 each, and they gave me like a $50 bonus because it counted as like a 15-day cruise that way. So.
Is it a 15-day or is it? I think it's 14 or more. What's your back-to-back?
Well, it's 8 days and 6 days. So what's that come out to? 14? Yeah. So
yeah, I think it's 14.
So one of the things that I do with onboard credit is if it's getting to the end of the cruise and I haven't used whatever I haven't used, if it's a reasonable amount of money, if it's a small amount of money, I'm just gonna probably try to find something to spend it on. Mm-hmm. But if it's a reasonable amount of money and it's getting to the end of the cruise and I know I'm not going to use it, I will just stick it on a machine.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, I'll just stick it on a machine and then go and take it off in cash.
Yep.
Because why not?
And I've done that
just
before.
Go up the next cruise and book another cruise.
I've done that before. If I needed like cash, and I didn't want to go to their cash machine or whatever, you can do it that way too.
Yeah. Because like Carnival has been offering me like free drinks and like $250 onboard credit. So it's kind of like, all right, I don't need the drink. I don't need the credit for the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't typically spend that kind of money in the casino. So, and I usually buy all, so I'll use it, so I use like some of the onboard credit for like internet or gratuities or something like that. But if I don't, then I end up not spending it on anything. And then towards the end of the cruise, I just end up taking it back off in cash because it was going to expire anyway. It was like non-refundable anyway. So,
all right.
Didn't Royal used to charge for pulling money off your card? Didn't they used to push the in order to use money in the casino, you had to use cash, or else they'd hit you with a service fee.
But they stopped doing that, I think, now. So
yeah,
because I think they would all prefer you to not use cash.
Yeah, because wasn't there something like they were charging 3% or something?
Yeah,
like
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
3% seems like a small amount, but 5,000 passengers. It's
exactly.
They're making a killing off of it.
Eddie.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay. Well, but I mean, even based on what they've posted, probably just whack them.
What, you got a troublemaker?
Yes. Somebody trying to sell something.
Kinda. Certainly not of the caliber we normally have.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's still early Friday night.
That one earlier sure loved Trump.
Yeah.
I didn't even see any of that, and all I saw was the
deleted message.
Yes, that's all I saw.
This person's been blocked.
Right.
It's just kept coming.
By the time I made it, that's all I saw too.
Yeah,
Do you want to know? I don't know about you guys, but I have got the most amazing moderator sitting in my channel. Meg and Danny D, they are the most amazing moderators because they climbed onto it before I even had a look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I can't find the person.
Right.
That's the problem when you're streaming on so many channels. Is which channel are they on?
Right.
And I know Randy's not.
I don't have a channel, so they're not.
He's not streaming.
It's not mine.
So I got helping hands.
Well, so far out of our morning show and stuff, it's only happened on my channel once, and it happened before we went live, and I took them out. So we didn't, so we didn't have to worry about it. But
as Meg says, it was on the HH4C channel. And by the way, Danny, please cry. I'll make anybody cry because I care and I appreciate the help that you guys give.
So, were you all in there for the tea party the other day?
I was on for a little bit, but not for very long.
So the day before the tea party, I had somebody come in my chat named Big Long, and then I blocked him on mine, and then the next day he showed up again, and Betty's going through the names, and I didn't notice it came in there again, and Betty said the name out loud, and we all started busting out laughing. I was like, my bad, I didn't see him in there.
You're talking about big, long thing.
Yep.
I could hear Betty saying that too.
Yep. Oh, she just went right down the list. Yep.
Well, did she catch it afterwards?
Once she said it, she started she snickered a little bit after she said it.
Yeah, you finally kicked it. Thank you, Danny.
You didn't see my symbol there, Eddie. I was blessing you.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's only Sean. Don't worry about it.
Dankeschön.
Bitte.
I'm curious about something. I'm going to see if I can read that QR code on Sean's feed.
Can you?
Nope, I'm not getting the prompt like I was during Ross's.
Yeah, it's because I'm not close enough, maybe.
Yeah.
Or big enough.
No, can't get it clear enough.
Yeah.
Can't get it clear enough.
So, Eddie, you almost caused Danny to fall out of bed. Yeah, when you did that sneeze, she got such a fright, she almost fell out of bed.
Oops.
No, I'm not sorry.
I couldn't get it
She's got to pick up herself and get back in it. She's a troublemaker.
Danny's one of my most amazing moderators.
Yeah,
you telling me she's a troublemaker?
How's
Eddie,
Danny a
roll back in the
troublemaker?
cheese. Alice, give him a whack.
Oh.
I said give him a whack, not a love tap. That's better.
Was that a pillow or a foot?
I was able to read it, the QR code, but
that's cool.
Yeah, it our faces is what the phone tries to pick up instead of the QR code.
Yeah, I couldn't read it with mine, and I got it up on the TV.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to see if I can read it. I'm going to see if I can read it now.
Try that.
Yeah, right now it read it right away. Yeah, read it right away.
I've done it off of that before.
And that would still have the Aussie dollars on it.
Oh, well, right.
Yep.
Okay, so the other one's being created, and when I do my next load up, I'll bring it in, so it'll have the US dollars on it.
This is the first time I've seen Meg in a long time.
I know.
Yeah, Meg's been a busy girl.
Yep.
Yeah. She's been partying and she's been having an amazing time. And she's been working, and then she's also been spending time with, and then, yeah, she's been a real busy girl. Yes, Emily, we know it is in Aussie dollars. I'm sorry. We're trying to, I've got to modify the QR code on my screen. I'm not going to modify it now, but the QR code, I've asked Meg to create a QR code in US dollars. So even if you do donate in Aussie dollars, we appreciate it. We will, but we would love to have it in US. So thank you very much. Every dollar counts. Every cent counts.
Yep. Eddie, you're muted.
It's better that way.
Well, that way we couldn't hear him getting beat.
Eddie, I've got this new fork.
No.
Fuck
For you.
My sister brought this back from South Africa for me.
She must love you real good.
You know,
Oh, she
Scott,
does.
you could
Oh.
probably come back in, maybe just not stream. So
Right.
Oh,
Scott.
oh, okay.
Yeah, follow the same link it'll put you
Yeah,
back
I mean,
on
you
the
could
same
probably
show.
just come back in, but just not stream, and then that way it won't be a problem. It's up to you, though.
Yep.
So,
We miss you, Scott. We miss you.
Oh, come on, Scotty. We need you.
Well, hey, Eddie, I'm going to pop out. I'm going to try to get up early and cut the grass before it gets,
You know,
oppressively.
Feel
that's
free to
Eddie's
drive to
favorite-
Maryland.
I say, as hot as it is down there, is the grass even growing?
It
Yeah.
is.
It's growing.
It is growing because,
Unfortunately.
like we said, we get 10-minute rains. It's still growing,
Yeah.
all at the same rate.
Sounds like bloody Melbourne weather, you
I'll
know.
see you guys later. Have
See
a
ya.
good
Hi,
one.
sir.
I might.
Okay, good night.
We'll
Yeah,
see
Betty.
you sometime later. No problemo. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, and
Then there were 6.
I'm not gonna be here too long anyway. Another 20 minutes probably.
What? I
Oh,
thought
now
you
that
were
I
doing
drink
it
coffee?
75 hours.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
now I
here for
drink
another 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you might have me for another 20 minutes.
What's
Might
wrong
say
with
that,
you guys?
That he drank coffee. He wants to be here a while.
I got
I'm
solid
gonna
bed.
go.
I got a solid bed schedule.
Alice took a nice nap earlier, so she's
She
good.
don't.
She could stay for a while.
Seriously, I want to know what's wrong with you guys. It's only bloody 2:40 in the afternoon,
That's right. Yeah, I know.
and all you
Only-
guys want to do is go to bed. I mean,
It's only
seriously.
9:40
It's nap
here.
time. Go take a nap.
Yep.
That's all it is. So, what about this? Thinking of taking a train from Boston to Miami. If we book a Carnival cruise next year, it all depends on how long that the train is.
Right.
You might have to wait like 3 days to get to
It's
Miami.
probably a couple days.
I mean, me personally, I would never take that long of a train just
Yeah.
because you sitting in coach for that long. I mean, just no.
Yep.
Even like
I was
auto
thinking
train,
train
I think
rides
sometimes
like that
about
would be
taking
faster.
auto train. For auto train to Florida, I would still have to drive to Washington D.C. That's about a 2-hour drive for me. Well, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So yeah, I just have to drive to Washington D.C., put the car on the train, and then it gets off in Central Florida. But then you're still sitting in coach of from like 4:00 in the evening till like 10:00 the next morning.
Yeah.
So I could never do that. So I'd
What's
have to have
the
a
cost
sleeper, or I wouldn't be able to do it. So
What's the cost difference?
that's the other thing too. Most of the time, it's cheaper to fly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much cheaper, but
You get there a lot quicker.
yeah, and you get there a little quicker. So that's why
Same
I
day.
never do it.
Instead of the
Much
next-
cheaper to drive. It's $300 in gas for me to drive to Florida.
What?
Yeah.
It's cheaper to get in an aircraft from Melbourne to Sydney than it is to fly. It's cheaper to fly from Melbourne to Sydney than it is to drive or catch a train.
Well, she doesn't like
Well,
much. That's another reason.
there's
too.
5 of us, Sean. So you pay airfare for 5 people. Like when I went on Wonder this past April, for 4 of us, it was $2,000. So $2,000 compared to $300. Now it might be an
That's
extra
true.
day driving.
But then you've got to stop, and then you've got to feed your face, and then you've got to, go to Buc-ee's, and then
Yep.
and
Yep.
that all costs money.
You don't know me, Sean.
That's about another $100.
Oh,
right there.
Clocky! I
I've
know
stopped 3
you
times,
very
and you
well.
have no. You cannot. You have to eat and everything all in one stop because I don't stop multiple times. And the
Clocky,
food stops are like
I
cheapest
know
possible
you
places.
better than you think. You won't even get on a friggin' airplane and come down under for the group cruise. I mean, I know you well enough.
I'm pretty tight. I want
know.
to. I really want to.
Yeah. You remind me of the dog sitting on the nail. Right? It's painful as, but he'll only move when it gets extremely painful. And I'm saying you don't want Australia that bad.
But
mean-
I'm too old to drive to Florida anymore. I used to drive when I was younger, but I could not handle that drive anymore. Clock.
I've
I'm with
been
you.
doing it once a year, pretty much.
I mean, from my house to Orlando is 960 miles.
It's 800
that's
something
Melbourne
for
to
me.
Sydney.
Yeah,
Ooh.
couldn't do it. So
I mean, I don't even want to drive out to LA, and that's only like 8 hours. So, yeah.
Well, if Alice were to stay in New York to finish her, to get until her retirement age, which would be another 6, 7 years, I was gonna have to be driving at least 3 times a year to come down here to Georgia to check on the house. So
Well,
I'm glad that
also-
it takes me 3 days to get down here.
Well, you know,
Also,
the other-
remember my job. I normally drive an hour and a half to 2 hours each way to work.
oh, I
So
didn't
you're
know
talking-
that.
I'm on the road 3 to 4 hours a day anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, listen, I mean, like I drive, right? Like, I mean, hell, my wife and I will drive to Maryland just for a Wawa sub for crying out loud. You know, I mean, like we'll do that all the time. So, you know, I drive like that too, but 960 miles one way is a little excessive.
you know, the thing I look at is, okay, it's fine driving out because you're all pumped up about going. You get off the boat and it's like, oh man, now I got to drive all the way home.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've drove from
That drive
Miami,
home is
got off
definitely
the
the
ship,
worst.
and drove straight home. 16 hours.
Right.
Now, Clocky, you've done 16-hour drive from Miami all the way home. Yet you won't get on an aircraft going from home all the way to Sydney for a cruise. I mean, seriously. You do it one way and you won't do it.
If it only cost me $300, Sean, I'd be right down there.
Well, you need to get a credit card where you build up airline miles, then you can fly down.
I'm not building up $6,000 in airline miles.
Well, you'll spend it in the gas you're driving to Miami and back. You know. So.
See, Clocky, I'm already one up on you, mate. Actually,
What's
I'm
that?
2 up on you. I've had one flight from here to the US, and I've had another flight from the US back home.
Oh.
You won't even do one flight. I'm giving
I'm
you
gonna
the
have to-
suggestion.
I'm going to have to have both.
No, you don't
Right.
need both. You could come down one way on a cruise ship and go back by air, or you could do it the other way around. I mean, I'm just giving you the do
Yeah, you can do like Bill did.
Jump on a repositioning.
Yeah, but I asked you if I could stay at your house for a couple months.
And I
till
said to
till the
you, I've
next one.
got the room upstairs. I've got it. I've got
No,
this.
you
I just
didn't.
need a spot.
You said I could sleep out in the doghouse out back.
No, I didn't say you could sleep in the shed
The
because
she
I don't
shed.
have a dog. So I wouldn't put you in the doghouse because I don't have a dog. But I mean, we could figure out a place for you to stay. There's always a place.
Like with the
Let's put
spiders
it
and
in
the
the place.
snakes.
Shut up! Shut
Right.
up!
Yep,
Shut
those
up!
the big
Right.
spiders.
Well, that's right. You got those.
And then the size of lobsters.
Yeah.
Yep.
They put tarantulas to shame.
Remember,
Yeah.
8
Just
seconds.
Just think, it's food provided. You just have to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, eat the
You
Eat the
gotta go out and
spiders.
catch it.
Carouse. You've been eating some carouse and drinking some Fosta. Fosta.
No, we don't-
Australian for
Yeah.
beer.
No.
Isn't there a really nasty jellyfish in the water down there too?
Yeah. But it's more Northern Territory.
Hmm.
Sure.
The box jelly.
He'd be feeding you a lot of Vegemite on crackers for snacks.
No, I wouldn't. I'm nice to Clocky. I wouldn't feed him axle grease. Ilana might, but I won't.
No shrimps on the Barbie.
Plenty of shrimps on the barbie. You want them?
You know, actually,
Well,
I
maybe
gotta
I
tell
might
ya.
come down for some shrimps on the Barbie.
Back in the '90s, I worked on a movie with Paul Hogan. So
Oh my lord!
Oh, that's pretty cool.
remember Lightning Jack? Did you ever see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the movie I worked on. So
What did you do there?
I was a set dresser, which is kind of like a glorified furniture mover. But
That's right. Yeah.
But actually, in my backyard, I have one of the outhouses from that movie. I use as a tool shed out back. So
Wow.
Oh my
there
goodness.
you go.
Did it stink?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Oh, it was a prop. It was
Yeah.
not.
Right. It was a set dressing piece just
You're
sitting there.
sure?
You know? Yeah. Well, maybe somebody used it. I don't know.
Call that a knife?
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
But actually, he was kind of a nice guy. He's very shy and quiet, but you know.
Do you know what he did before he was an actor?
Yeah, I do know what he did. See if the panel knows what he did beforehand.
I have no idea.
No clue.
I've heard this in another trivia question thing, but I can't remember.
You want me to tell him? Or
You can tell him.
yeah, he's a bridge painter.
Nice.
Wow.
He
He
worked.
tried out for a show because he didn't think the people on the show were all that funny. So he went in and
Yep.
decided he'd try out to be a comedian. So and
His,
the rest
his
is
job
history.
was his job was the Sydney Harbour Bridge. They start because of where it is. It sits right on top of the ocean, so there's all the salt air coming in. So what he did was he painted the panel. So they start at the beginning of the year, start painting. By the end of the year, they finish the bridge. Then they've got to go back again and start from the beginning again. That's what he did.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of him up on top of that bridge painting. And,
Mhm.
Saltwater is so nasty. It just tears up everything.
Yep.
It's just salt, not the water.
Well,
But then again, you've actually got to experience going on a cruise ship underneath that bridge.
he's selling
when
it
we
again.
did- I'm always selling you, mate. You'll come on down when you're ready. When it's bitten you enough that you, oh God, I've got to go. Then you'll come. Now we were on the Sun Princess before it was taken out, and it was docking at a place called White Bay, which is one of the two ports where the cruise ships sit in Sydney. And you get on board the cruise ship, and then the ship pulls away from the side, and it starts to sail, and it goes underneath the bridge. Got some footage of it. I'll put it on one day. And it goes underneath the bridge, and as it goes underneath the bridge, you just look up and you just see this funnel. The funnel could almost touch the bottom of the bridge, and out it goes. It's just the most awesome feeling.
Mhm.
Sailing out.
yeah, I went under the Golden Gate twice, you know, because they come in, then they come back out. And it's just incredible going under, you know, a bridge like that.
Yeah.
I've been to the Golden Gate. I've been to that fort that's right there, kind of underneath it and stuff like that, and toured that and everything. But I've never been. I've never been like up on the bridge going over it.
No, I've done that too. I've driven over it too. So.
Yeah.
I've driven, walked it, and
Painted it.
and up by the side up there where the get all the foggy stuff. I've been up there too, taking pictures from up there.
Back in the early 2000s, I came out to San Francisco to go to Macworld at the Moscone Center. So I went for a whole week. I attended a workshop the first 2 days or whatever, and then I just spent the rest of the time there roaming around looking at all the cool new technology and stuff like that or whatever. So, and the taxpayers of Pennsylvania paid for it.
It's always nice to travel on somebody else's dime, you know.
Yeah,
So,
it was,
so Clocky, I've got an awesome experience for you, mate. When you come down to Sydney, first things first, catch a train that goes across the bridge. then walk back across the bridge, because you can, then get driven backwards and forwards over the bridge, or you can go one way, and then the last thing to do is actually climb over the top of the bridge.
Yeah, what's it cost to climb the bridge?
A bucket load of money,
Yeah, I know. I thought it was pretty expensive to do that.
100 and something.
Yeah. No, I can see
They
it well
charge
enough
you to
from
climb the
road.
bridge?
Yep,
Yeah.
because they take you as part of a group, and then they harness you up,
Wow.
and you climb the bridge.
Oh wow.
And you
want-
can actually get to see sunrise and sunset at the top of the bridge, right next to the big flags. What have you? Would I do it? Nah. I mean, let me think about it. Nah.
No.
I don't know. I
Don't-
mean,
don't
sailing
have-
underneath, sailing underneath Verrazano is pretty cool.
Sailing under is awesome. Climbing the friggin' thing is another story.
How tall is it?
How tall? Much taller than me.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that one up.
Oh, any day.
So I've climbed to the top of the reactors at the power plant, which is like 150 feet, I guess.
Oh, the
120
bridge
feet.
would be close to that.
I mean, this isn't a bridge, but the scariest thing I've ever gone up on is the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah, I went up that too. Very claustrophobic.
Yes.
It's-
And then once you
going
get up
is
there,
bad.
like the whole floor is
Yeah.
like pitched really sharply, and I'm just like, let me out of this place.
and it's not all that friendly to tall people either. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. I mean, going up was a pain because you were in such a small little elevator. Coming
Right.
down wasn't all that bad because you had
Yeah.
room coming down. So,
Right. Yeah, but I definitely worst thing I ever wouldn't do
Yeah,
it
you
again.
you could feel it moving up there. So
Yep, wouldn't do it again. So can't imagine being in St. Louis again either, or East St. Louis either.
yeah. Or the Space Needle. You've been up in that.
Never. I've never. The only place I've been on the West Coast is San Francisco.
Mhm.
So I've never been anywhere else on the West Coast.
Hey Eddie, I'm gonna take off, guys. Y'all take it
See
easy.
ya.
Oh, Jeremy, before you
Ah.
go, I've been watching some of your driving videos, and I was wondering, I don't know, maybe you've already done it, but what I was thinking was, why don't you do one like coming in over the bridge and show somebody how to get to the port? You know?
Yeah.
Have you thought of
There
that,
will-
or?
Yeah, there will be plenty of driving videos. I have a box that's sitting on my desk right now that will be revealed on the Monday morning live show as to what's
Yeah.
in my Temu order.
Right.
So, yeah, tune in.
But I just thought, that would be helpful for people who have never been to Galveston to
Yeah.
figure out how to get to the port, the easiest way, and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely.
So,
No, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them ways to avoid traffic
right.
in doing it because
Right.
there's secrets that you can
Yeah,
follow.
I know. I learned the hard way coming
Yeah.
in there. Made the turn too soon, and then later I found out if I kept on going and then turned,
Yeah,
you come in like the back way, and there's like no
Absolutely.
traffic over that way. So
absolutely. Alrighty, guys.
Okay.
we'll take
See
care.
you
Have a
later,
good night.
Jeremy. Now, Clocky, Sydney Harbour Bridge is 440 feet.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We build them big in Oz. We've even got the big pineapple.
Well,
That's Eddie.
I'll tell you.
You're just trying to bring Eddie down there.
Well, we know that Eddie's coming eventually
Yep.
because Alice wants to come.
How tall is that bridge?
440
I'm
feet.
gonna tell you right now.
Because Verrazano is 693 feet.
Is it really?
Yeah, Verrazano is 693 foot high.
Yeah, the height is 693. Opening November 21st, 1964.
How about the Brooklyn Bridge? How tall is that?
Well, the Brooklyn is my bridge. I own it.
Oh, it's got
Oh,
your
you
name
bought
on it,
that?
does it? Is it called
Yep.
the
Were you the
Lugo
troll that
Bridge?
lived underneath of it?
The what?
Were you the troll that lived under the bridge?
Of course.
I just found out tonight
272
that
feet.
I just
Also,
found out that Eddie's real name is Tony Montana.
Don't
Yep.
worry, Danny. I'll keep a nice, good eye on
Antonio
that Eddie
El
Lugo.
Montana from Miami.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Verrazano is that tall. I didn't realize it was that
I
tall. either.
mean, it is amazingly up there.
I mean, I guess that's why they can get an Oasis class in there, right?
Yep.
All right, I got to do this. I've had enough of this merriment. Can't get Clocky to come down under yet. Can't get Eddie to come down under yet. So I'm going to call it quits. I've had enough. I just can't. I can't do this anymore.
Oh, cry me a river.
You want a river? Yara.
you know, before the pandemic, we'd actually booked an Australian cruise, and
Well, Randy,
Well-
come on down.
well, we still talk about it, but you know,
Don't talk, just do.
Damn it,
I'll
just
bring
do
it
it.
up again.
Celebrity Edge.
Come on, do it.
Where all's it going to?
It's going to, okay, so it's leaving Sydney. It's going
Right.
to the South Pacific. So it's including Numia, Vanuatu, and Fiji. So we're going to Suva, Lutoka, New Caledonia, and a couple of islands in Vanuatu.
Okay, so like, what about the Great Barrier Reef?
We don't touch the Great Barrier Reef. We go past it.
Well, that's what I wanted. Could you still see it or not? From
Yeah, if you head down towards Brizzy.
no. 'Cause-
That if.
You don't want to spend. Look, I'll be honest with you, Randy. Don't spend 5 minutes here. Come for a
Good.
decent amount of time.
Oh yeah, I know. I understand. I mean, you know, I realize that Australia is like the size of the United States. You don't see it in 2 days. So.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what you can do is come on down, say early December. You jump on a cruise to out of Brisbane. You go to say the Barrier Reef. Then you get off that cruise, come on down to Sydney, watch the fireworks, join us on the group cruise 2nd of January out of Sydney to South Pacific, and then you can head home.
So we could bunk with Clock and his family and
Yeah,
upstairs of him.
Clocky wouldn't mind. Although he's a sook, I know he won't come. Doesn't like my aftershave.
You do smell kind of weird.
Say again?
You do smell kind of weird.
That's why Ilana doesn't sleep with me. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, I got to call it quits.
All right.
Okay, man.
Well, it's nice talking with you.
Catch you later.
Take care.
See you, man.
So how long you guys plan on
looks like
going
clock
here
is
tonight?
fading fast.
Yeah, look
I've
at
been
clock.
watching those eyes. Like I
Yeah.
almost said something to Jeremy. I almost said to Jeremy, I think Jeremy's got clock beat tonight because Jeremy's eyes are really getting heavy. So
I'm
So he just
tired,
drank
but I'm not
coffee
as
with him.
tired as I normally am.
yeah,
Really? You look like you're more out than anything.
I can definitely tell the air is moving in your house now, though, because that curtain behind you is really
Yeah.
whipping
Well,
around.
that's just this portico. Like I said,
okay.
I still don't have regular AC in here.
Oh, really?
Mm.
No. This is a total another unit that I need to fucking redo.
You need to what?
I need to get another unit.
Yeah, it's that.
So 6,000 what? What did I say? A cuss word?
Yeah.
Well, it's 1 o'clock where he is, so there you go.
Yeah, we're after dark, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You
You only
can
ten
say
people.
whale humping now.
Only
Right.
10 people on the chat, so And I
Maybe
think
I am tighter than I thought I was.
I mean, it just slipped right on out before you could tell.
So, that's a
Yes, you
normal
were saying?
reaction for me.
Yeah, but
So
as
I
you
already-
were saying,
I already spent $6,175 on that one. So now I need to. This one here might not be as bad because this one's only a couple years old. So
Yeah.
what happened was the guy who did it didn't install it right. So the guy that installed this one said he's going to come back and try to remove the coil on this one because it's something clogged in it. He said it
Right.
should be under warranty still. So I'll just have to put out the money to get a new coil, put it in, and then the manufacturer would give me the refund.